Hey folks, Bruce coming at you again. Today I'm doing another resin video. Normally I work with clear resin. Today I'm going to be working with white resin. And the main thing I want to do is I want to show you how to use mica powder with white resin. I'm using fast cast resin today. I usually use Aluminite, but they have been sold out for a while. So I found this online too. I've used it before. It's not bad. I do prefer the Aluminite, excuse me. And but these come. I've been casting here all day, making a few things. It's a good white resin. This is a part for a play set that I make, and this is a little monster I make for one of my play sets. It's a decent rigid resin. It takes about 10-15 minutes to dry once you get it poured. But what I want to try now is I have to add some mica powder to it because I need to get a piece out that's going to actually be gray. So I figured I'd make a really quick video and show you guys how I do it and see how it comes out. You can decide for yourself if mica powder might be the way to go for you. This is, I'm using black because white will make, if I put black into clear resin, it'll come out nice and dark. But because it's a white resin, it can turn black to gray. Everything gets lighter. And I've had a lot of good luck with pastel colors using the darkest color mica powder that I could find. It doesn't work so well on the darker colors, but we're trying to get a nice light gray today. This is what I'm using. It's just mica powder. There's many brands out there, and I've got 3 brands that I've been working with, and they all seem to work the same. So I'm not really getting an endorsement for any brand names. So okay, before I get ahead of myself, the type of molds we're using today are Umu 25, Umu 30, and this is another silicone molding compound that I found at Joann Fabrics. I don't remember the name. But we are doing a little bit different. If you've seen my other videos, I showed you where to make my own, or not my own, but the reusable silicone, the reusable mold compound that I make. That's only for clear resin. Unfortunately, the white resin doesn't work in it. It melts it. But my molds are basically made the same way, though, using the products I just said, the Umu products. We're using I guess all 3 of these are 2-part molds. And I'm going to do a video one of these days showing you how to make a 2-part mold. Just to give you the quick gist of it, this is a 2-part mold of the stick I just showed you. And there's a technique to make these out of with the Umu. I can't do this with the reusable resin. I wish I could, but I cannot. Well, there is one way, but I wasn't happy with the results. And I'll make another video showing you guys how to actually make these molds. If you're into resin, this is probably how you start it anyway. So, excuse me, I got to reach for something that I forgot. So yeah, what we're making here is 3 different units. I'm making one of the monsters I showed you. I'm making these sticks, and this is the part that I need to have to be gray. So and then you can't mix that small of an amount for. Let me see what I'm making. This is what I'm trying. No, that's not it. This is what I'm trying to make. It's just a little. You can't see the detail. I didn't set up the HD. This isn't trimmed yet. I haven't set up the HD camera. So, but this is what I need. But I need this in gray. So that's the whole reason we're doing this. And I figure, well, it's easy just to make a quick video, and hopefully you're gonna like it. And hopefully you learn something. I mean, if this is something you want to try, you can see how it's working for me. Like I said, I'm using the black Tech. Oh wow, I can't. My old eyes, I can't read the label. I'm sorry, but mica powder, from what I understand, is about the same. Now, a little of this goes a long way. Now you can see I've already poured out my 50/50 solution of white resin, which is part A and part B. I'm going to take part B and I'm going to put it in my mixing cup before I add the mica powder. So that's in there. And now we're going to add the mica powder. This is something you're going to have to use some trial and error for. It's hard to tell you exactly how much to use. I've just got maybe the tip of this popsicle stick full of the powder. And I just blew it on the floor. All right, let's try this again. I want it to be pretty dark, but now if you can see this, that is way too much. A little of this will go a long way, especially in the clear resins. If you're going to use them in the clear resins, now there I've got about, well, if you look at your pinky, Yeah, that's about right. If you look at your pinky nail, and let's say you would just cover that with a small layer of it, that's what I'm going to put in here. I'm going to put it in with the B side that I've already put in my mixing cup. And I'm going to mix that up. I'm doing this in real time. Not sure how long it's going to take. I know it takes about 10 to 15 minutes for it to cure. But now see, I mixed that all in. Now it's like a nice dark color. Hopefully you can see that. That's just with the B side. Now this hasn't started to cure yet, so I can mix it as long as I want to. If I want to, I can add a little bit more to it. I think that's good what I have here. Now I'm going to dump my A side in here. There we go. And mix, 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 mix. I won't be using the pressure pot today on this. This is that. This is what my pressure pot works on. If you have a good pressure pot that can go instantly, you might want to use it. But I've honestly had no problems using this white resin without a pressure pot, since most of these items I make get painted anyway. Now, real quick, I forgot a big rule. I forgot to vent this one mold. And how I do that is I have holes there already, and I put these straws in there. This is a way to get around having an injector if you don't have an injector too. Once again, another video idea I could do later on. But I just want to get this out of the way real quick before this sets up. You've got about 2 minutes to mix and pour this, and I can feel it getting warm already, so I'm going to have to rush this a little bit. I got a big mold over here. I'm going to start filling it. I feel this isn't going to come out perfect because I messed up on the straws. That's the one thing I don't like about the white resin. It just takes, it's so quick, you don't have time to really play around. You have to work with it very quick. I want to make sure I get this done because this is what I really need. This mold, since it's so small, I don't have to tape this. I always tape the bigger molds. The smaller molds, I don't necessarily have to. And I'm going to fill this mold real quick. This particular mold is a stick I showed you earlier in the video, and the reason I use the straw is it's not better than an injector. I just don't have an injector. But when you build it up in the straw, it forms a gravity thing, which kind of makes it like a small injector, and it'll fill up the mold better if you have it designed correctly. Like I said, I'm going to step into these one of these days and do a video about how to make these two-part molds, which is a little bit advanced right now. But the point of today's video is to show you how this mica powder works and what you can achieve. Okay, my molds are full. Everything looks good. A little over full there, but that's okay. That won't hurt. This one's crooked. All right, looks good. Looks good. I've got a little extra resin, like I always do, and I always have an extra mold that I just dump my extra resin in so it doesn't go to waste. I usually pick something big that I have. In this case, it's a silicone thing that I bought online for the Millennium Falcon. And any extra excess goes in there. And it can be any color. You can use the white. You can use the tinted stuff you've done. It'll just add up, and then eventually it'll be full, and you'll have that figure too, rather than throw it in garbage. Because sometimes it's hard to differentiate and how much to measure. I always have extra, so I always try to have little things laying around that I can play with. So, all right, that's that. I will be back as soon as this cures. It'll be about 10-15 minutes. Of course, you're going to see it in the next frame. So we'll see you in a minute as soon as this cures. Did you come to see me? Did you come to see me? Up, up.
Hey, honey, maybe one of the problems with your boyfriend. Then you can get very
oh, look, you're on TV. You're on TV. Yes, you are. You're interrupting my video, but that's okay because you're cute. You're the cutie pie. Yes, you are. Oh. You're such a pretty girl. You're such a pretty girl. Say hello to the people. Say hello to the people. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let Daddy finish his work. Good girl. All right, I'll let you out. Okay. It's been a few minutes. Has given this time to set up my little. I use this as a testing too. The one I put in the spare one. Whenever it gets hard, then I know the rest of them are probably hard. So we're going to go ahead and open this up and see what kind of color we got. I've already, no, I haven't though. I was going to do that. I didn't do it. So All right, well, let's open these up real quick and see what we got. This particular mold has definitely seen better days. I'm pretty sure it's going to be done tonight. So I'll have to make another one. And when I do, I will make a video and show you how to make a two-part mold like this. So yes, this is basically a worn-out mold. I'm just going to cut the excess off the top, which I would do in a regular mold anyway. Take my tape off. I use masking tape. You can use rubber bands if you want. I think I mentioned that in my other video. I prefer masking tape. But the rubber bands do work. I have used them. I just seem to always run out of them. And when they get stuck in the resin, they get ruined. So we're going to peel this two-part mold open. You see it's coming out here. A little slower so you can see what I'm working on. This particular mold I didn't design as best as I could have, so I kind of have to cut the vents before I take it out, just to make sure I don't screw up the figure. Yeah, this is falling apart. Actually, this might not even be a good casting, but that's okay because this isn't the piece I need. I just had to use a batch of resin that has to be gray. Oh, it's not too bad. That is not too bad. Now, of course, I have to trim it up. And I like to cut the parts off that I don't need while it's still in the process of drying. It just seems to be easier to do it that way. There's the head vent. I'll just chop that off. I'll grind that down later after it dries with a Dremel tool. But that's not the one I was excited to see. Next one. This is another kind of mold, and I use the straws for vents. The gravity helps put some pressure on there to get the resin the whole way through the mold to avoid your air bubbles. And so we're just going to take these straws out of there. You see they're full. A little bit of a waste of resin, but it kind of guarantees I'm not going to get air bubbles in my casting. So I just trim those off with some nippers. That's what I call them. They're actually wire cutters, but I just think it's cool to say nippers. And we'll see what we got in this. Okay, all three seem to have come out good. See, when I do these videos, I tend to rush a little bit because I don't want to be long and drawn out, but I'm long and drawn out anyway. Yeah, this come out pretty good. It's a little lighter gray than I was going for, but like I said, I mean, you have to do a little trial and error to get your mica powder to work right in with the white resin. Now, if that was clear resin, they would have come out a nice smoky look. But I don't use the only thing I use the mica powder for in the white resin is what I'm about to unload. Yeah, a little trimming, that'll be fine too. One last one in this mold. This is a staff for one of my Star Wars guys. That came out nice. It's not quite hard yet. Like I said, it's only been 15 minutes, so I'll set them to the side and let them finish curing. This is the one I want to see. I need it to be a light gray. Looks like the color's already going to be good. Two-part mold, but I didn't tape it because it's smaller, so it opens like a book. And oh, okay, yeah, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. Filling out my product now. A lot of flare on this. This is another mold that's about ready to be replaced. The piece is still coming out. Remember, I said I was trying to make one of these. This hasn't been trimmed yet. Oh, here it is. You can see it in there. I just have to, and you can pull that flare off if you want to. I prefer to set it down on a flat surface and take my X-Acto knife and just trim the, not right up to the figure or right up to the part. I just go around it so I can remove it from all the extra. And when it dries completely, probably in about an hour, I'll take a Dremel tool and I'll carve out the rest. It usually doesn't happen with a newer mold, but see the difference between these molds and the reusable compound I showed you before. These molds can be used over and over and over and over and over again without losing clarity. Where that is one of the downfalls of the reusable mold I use. This is a marble that goes with it, and it came out just about perfect. Yeah, I'm very happy with this color. Where did I put that? Well, I'll just show you this because it's bigger. You'll probably be able to see the color. Now, all that black mica powder I put in there, you can see it came up It's a light gray, which is what I was shooting for. This is just going to get painted. That's not supposed to be gray, but I paint these anyway. But the piece that I did make, here's another one I did. The piece that I did make came out gray enough. So that's what I was shooting for. So if you want to try mica powder with white resin, go for it. Here's another thing, that my little extra bucket. It's coming out a lot brighter on camera than it actually is. It's actually like a nice light gray, not like a charcoal gray, but a lighter gray. I don't know how to explain it. The lighting in here is actually pretty bright. But it works. It works good if you want to do especially pastel colors, lighter colors. The gray, I use green sometimes. I use the yellow sometimes. Oh, I did get the box to show you guys what I'm using. This particular one. My daughter brought me this for Christmas, and it's the first I've worked with it. And so if you can find that online, write that down. I think it's pronounced Tecaroos. There's no website on it. Made in China. Dude, use in making resin artifacts. Used for do-it-yourself jewelry making. Using resin furniture. Soap making too. If you're into soap making, which is very similar to what I'm doing, you can use this stuff in soap. I mean, I think it's kind of neat if you need a color and you don't want to paint it. Non-toxic, cosmetic grade, 100% eco-friendly, cruelty-free. That's about all it says in there. I don't see a website. I'll show it to you one more time. It's called Tecaroos Mica Powder, M-I-C-A. And maybe you might want to give it a try. I have tried it. In fact, here I have, this is a broken figure. I broke the arm off. But I've tried it in the clear resin, and this was actually a blue. And you can see it's still clear, and it's got a nice little blue tint to it. Hey, if you want to give it a try, go for it. It does take a little trial and error to get the amounts right. If you put, especially in the clear, if you put too much in it, it gets too dark. If you don't put enough in it, on the white resin, it's going to get really light. So, like I said, I didn't plan on doing this video today, but I was working, and I'm like, hey, here's something I could throw on here real quick for my resin guys. And I hope you liked it. Please leave a comment, give me a like, subscribe, share it, whatever. Check out my other stuff. I got some funny stuff on there. I just made I started a new video series today. I'm trying to help people that are younger that don't know. I still don't know what to call it, but I'm just calling it basic life skills. Stuff that everybody should know, like how to take care of your car, how to maybe cook. Well, I do a lot of cooking videos. How to cook, how to sew on a button, just things that kids should know. I can't even call them kids anymore. Things that young adults should know, but never had the opportunity or no one taught them. I'm finding a lot of younger people don't know how to do basic life skills. So if my videos can help, that's awesome. If not, well, I tried. So hey, you guys have a good night, and I'll see you next time I do another video. All right, thank you for watching.